Howdy folks, and welcome back to Nakmal Arc. Today we're doing Leg 40, South Carolina over 50 states tour. We're almost on the home stretch. After this flight we have 10 to go, but we're almost there. So South Carolina today, we have a pretty simple flight, about 8 nautical miles or so. We're taking off at Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. We're going to fly to Charleston Executive Airport in Johns Island, South Carolina. It's pretty much going to be along the ocean. For the most part, we're going to do Jeep or VFR, but we are going to put our destination in the GPS. In fact, I really want to use the GPS approach. If the weather cooperates, we'll land on runway 27. So we'll put the GPS approach in the aircraft, and we'll use it just so we have autopilot so we can sightsee. But we're kind of a mixture of VFR and GPS. I really want to do purely VFR, but it's nice to do GPS approaches, and then we can sightsee because Autopilot will fly the plane for us. So anyway, we are in the Just Flight Aero 3, not the Turbo Aero 3, just the Piper Aero 3. And it shouldn't be too bad of a flight. So the wind, barely any wind at our destination, so we should have a pretty simple flight today. That's the plan, because our next one, we're taking out the 727. It's going to be a bigger flight, so nice to have a simple one. I haven't flown this in a while. That seems to be my story. I have enough airplanes that I rotate through that unless I do the same airplane a couple times in a row, it gets to be a while between flights. So hopefully I remember I have my checklist here, detailed checklist for this one. So doors are open and people are boarding. Let's hop inside and get this thing rolling, not take any more time than we need to. Remember with this, if you use your mouse wheel down, you can actually hide the menu, which is very nice. All right, weight and balance, what we're going to do for people. We're going to put myself in the front and our buddy. We got a big buddy with us today. He's gonna hang out there, and we're bringing some of our kids. If I can click on the right spot. There we go. Let's see. We got one kid and the other kid. Actually, no. Young kids. There we go. Just like that. Fuel, we'll just set half and forget it, just like that, not a problem. So that is her fuel. And passengers, otherwise, what is next? We want to do the parking brake. Okay, so the parking brake is what's been taking my chocks off. I was actually watching it this time. Controls set to idle. Let's slam those around, see how the yoke is moving a little bit. See that? Weird things going on. All right, battery to on. It's one of these two. It's the left one. Alrighty. Check the fuel gauges, and we have more than enough fuel. Make sure that's all lit up, and it is. All right, battery off now. Just checking some things out. Trim, forgot where trim is in this thing. Is it between the seats? I think it is. There we go. Trim just below middle. That's fine. Recharge the battery. We don't need to because this is our first flight since I've loaded the sim. But let's just double check anyway. Battery's fine. Spark plug following is 0. All right, make sure auto switch between the tanks is enabled. That is because the fuel is in the tanks, and in real life you switch tanks, which is down here every, well, 15, 18, or 20 minutes, depends who you talk to. But the simulator will do it for you as long as that switch is on, and it's on by default. So let's hop outside, spin around here, and get this baggage door closed. And we'll actually also just close the main door from there, because it gets to be kind of tricky. So it should lock there, but then we have to lock it up there as well. Remove the chocks. It does that on its own. Left tank. I have a fuel thing. Here we go. Left. That's the left tank. Props forward. Where's my thing for this? Actually, in a second. Fuel to left. Props forward. Boom. Throttle to a quarter. Alt air closed. It is. I can see it from here. Confirm the avionics are off, and they are. Turn the battery on. There we go. Then it says navigation and rotation beacons on. Oh, click spots. There we go. Mixture rich, full forward. Confirm fuel flow over here somewhere. Up. I can't remember what's down here. There it is. Okay, fuel flow. Boom. That's the F. Let's see here. Yell clear prop out the storm window. Clear prop and close it because it will get loud. And start key, which I think on this one you flick and let go. Yes, you do. There we go. Confirm oil and air are rising. And we could actually sit here all day and watch these, but I'm not going to worry about too much. Sync the gyros. There we go. Alternator switch to on now. There we go. Annunciator warning should go out. Those are there up there, and they did. Throttles. Well, how come my presets are a little different than this one? Throttles to 14 to 1500. Lean the mixture to avoid spark plug fouling. There we go. Bring throttles up a little bit to 1400. There we go. Confirm gyro suctions between 4 and 5, and it's just between 4 and 5. Good. All right, lean mixture. We did that. Turn on our avionics. We're going to turn on this one, and this one I think is already on for some reason. This one is on indent for some reason. This one we can turn on, I guess, and this will just leave, just like that. All right, fuel tank left or right to confirm. Sometimes it stalls on us, sometimes it works. See? Oh, there you go. Now it's working. Okay, there we go. That happens sometimes. I think gyros already did that. Altimeter, barometer. We do have real weather turned on, so let's pull up the map and get the weather for right now. This airport is wind 5 knots at 260 degrees, 2992. Let's do the 2992 first. We got to draw this way back. 2992. There we go. 26 degrees. So closest airport to 260 is 26 and 21. So we'll take off on runway 21, which means we are going to taxi out to our left. Take off on runway 26. Can that be 26? 21 means the wind is coming from here. Does that really look like 26? That doesn't look like it would be. Oh, 21. Wind is 26. I had that backwards. Wind is coming from this direction. So we'll take off runway 21 into the wind as much as possible. Even though there's barely any wind. All right, flight plan. Kind of, like I said, we're going to be looking around a lot, but we are going to put a flight plan in the GPS. So we are going to come down here and delete flight plan. Yes. And we're going to, let's try the built-in GPS approach, see if it works. I do have my plate printed out. So let's get our destination there first. Kilo Juliet, which is my favorite letter of the phonetic alphabet. Whoopsie. Juliet Zulu. We don't get to say that one too often. Whoop, I went by it, didn't I? Man, this scroll wheel's faster than this one. And Indigo. There we go. Boom. Alright, so now let's do this, do procedure, and select approach. And we want to do GPS, runway 27. The fix, okay. We don't want to do vectors because we don't have ATC. The fix, though, we want to use Jedge, and there it is. Okay, let's load it but not activate it quite yet because, oh, there's that whole thing first. What we'll do is when we're in the air is we will go direct to Suave? When at time. But not right now. We're going to skip this whole thing. So let's go right to Suave. And that's on there. Clean those on the runway. Good. So it looks like it might actually work for us. Doesn't always work for me, but it might. Is it going to show us the whole flight? No, because you can't see the details. But anyway, we're going to be going out, and it's going to be quite a turn. I'm curious what that's going to look like when we zoom in, but too early to worry about that. So we'll activate the approach once we're in the air. We will do our vertical navigation while we're in the air as well. In the meantime, let's switch that to GPS so we can use Autopilot on GPS. Okay, there we go. No other radios to tune. No taxi light on this thing. We're not going to do a run up, so we're just going to start taxiing now. And we're going to taxi. Which way did I say we're going to go? We're going to go to our left, I think. Yeah, and this turn around and then runway. So that's simple. So let's take the parking brake off. Mixture is back. So we'll foul the spark plugs. And let's just go this way. Get the first set of flaps down while we're going here. This thing seems too easy to taxi, but I've never been one in real life, so I don't know. Otherwise, I don't think there's a whole lot to see here. It's just an airport. We do have a little bit too much speed, though. Let's spin around super fast and look at the work of whoever modeled this thing. Don't want to take it for granted too much if we can help it. Otherwise, there we go. Nice view of the plane, nice view of the airport. And I'll see you at the end of this runway. Alright, it says 21 on the sign, so we've done something right, which is good. Alright, so we're just going to stop here, actually, and wait. Alright, so let's set the parking brake. We're not going to do a run-up today, although it has been a while, but we're not going to. Alright, let's see. Double check battery and alternator on. Yes. Fuel pump on. Yes, alt air, yes. Props forward, yes. Mixture forward, yes. Flaps 10 degrees, yep. MIGs on both. Yes, they are. Means we can put that in now. Landing lights on. Can I get through there from there? Yes, I can actually. Trim in the middle. We already did that. Confirm. Door is closed. Yes. And latched. Yes. Pitot heat on. It is now. Heading bug. And that's in case we blow it with autopilot. And at least it'll go heading bug. So let's roll out here. Ooh. Looks like my PBR got better. I didn't change any of my settings. I am thinking of getting a new computer though, because I have a gaming laptop, which is doing fantastic for a gaming laptop. I know people don't believe gaming and laptop belong in the same sentence, but in its day, it was the most expensive one you could buy, and it's been working great. But the monitor on it is going out, and I use it as a second monitor, and for my workflow, for my YouTube channels, plus flying and my Minecraft thing I do, one monitor doesn't cut it. I need two working monitors. So, of course, it costs more to get the monitor fixed than a new computer would be. So I'm considering getting a new computer, but something that is flight sim ready or capable with full PBR, which would mean you need a 1080 Ti or now a 2080 Ti to get that 11 gigs of RAM so you can crank up all your settings. Costs a lot of money. I know I can make a lot of concessions and spend a third of the money, but this laptop, even with a broken monitor, does a lot of things. So it's been on my mind. It'll be a long time, but it's been on my mind. Also, rudder pedals are on my mind. Alrighty, I just told you that little tidbit to kill time while I set my heading bug. Alright, so I think we're ready to go, right? Heading bug autopilot. You don't pre-do the autopilot in this one. I do have an autopilot preset, and we will turn it on, do heading, and couple GPS, which is just, can't remember, nav on this one? It's not this. That's the radios. I think that stays off and you just do nav. We're going to find out in about 90 seconds. I can't remember. It's been too long. Alright, let's see. Let's do mode. Start the clock. Get a good position so we can see the yoke in case it goes haywire. Release the parking brake. Throttle all the way forward. And what are we taking off at? 72, 65 in this one. Alright, here we go. I think it's going straight for once. Awesome. Alright, here we go. There's 65. And lift off as we drift to the right. There we go. And flaps coming in. Gear coming in. And we're getting blown completely sideways. It's really interesting how the simulator does its crosswind. It's only a 5-knot crosswind, but it feels like a 30-knot crosswind. Look at that. That's crazy. Alrighty, so flaps are in, gears up. What else do we need to do? I got a review here. Climb at 90 knots, which is what we are. Fuel pump off, landing lights off in a minute. We'll do that in a minute. Let's go over to GPS, and which way do we need to go? We need to turn all the way around, don't we? Okay, let's turn all the way around before we do autopilot. We'll just do this manually for a little bit. The nose down a little bit to get back to 90 knots. Trying to coordinate our turn a little bit. It's getting kind of out of control here. There we go. We will turn off fuel pump and landing lights in a minute. Let's go out over the ocean a little. Just for some VFR, because like I said, this was originally going to be a VFR intended flight. Altitude is at 1400. What should we fly at? We want to stay below these clouds. So let's aim for 3,500 feet, unless we hit the clouds and we'll come down. Just so we can see some stuff. And then we'll do the secret alt hold, and then we'll engage autopilot at that time anyway. So we can sightsee. But let's have a look outside briefly while I try to control this thing. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's going to turn into the left on us. So we're heading straight up the coast. I just want to get out over the water a little bit, and then we'll join our GPS line. Having a hard time controlling from the outside like normal. But very nice. Alright, let's hop inside and get this thing under control. Yeah, see, now we went way too steeply here. Alright, come on. Nose up to about 90. We sped up as well too. It's really difficult to fly from the outside, obviously. We might actually end up gauging autopilot sooner. All right, there's our 90. We got back to a decent climb rate. Now let's go to the right a little bit to join our GPS. There we go. And once we get somewhat in line, we'll engage autopilot probably. We're at 2,700 feet. So we're 800 or so where we want to be for altitude. So let's get ready with the autopilot. So as soon as we hit 3,500, we'll engage everything. So what we'll do is we'll hit autopilot on, and then we'll hit the secret alt hold, which doesn't exist in real life with this autopilot, but it does in the sim for convenience. And then we will line up with the GPS. I think we just do nav. I think that's all it is. All right, let's try to hold 90 knots for our climb. Try to be as realistic as possible. I mean, it was trimmed for 90 until I screwed it up. All right, there's 3,400. By the time I get down here, it'll be 35. So let's turn autopilot on. The secret, spin to nav, and it should bring us to the GPS now. Looks like it is. And we're going to level off. It should come down a little bit because I know I hit it about 35. So let's see what happens here. There it is. It's going to come down. Perfect. Let's see how close we got it. Yeah, okay, good. So far. Still coming down. Good. And it should... Oh, it did not catch GPS. So I did something wrong. Darn it. Okay, so, CDI is GPS. And down here... Oh, we have to do heading. That turns this on. And now it's nav. Now it's going to go back. Okay, so let's review that. So, autopilot on. Heading on, this heading switch turns on this whole thing. And then we want nav, which couples to the nav radios, but we're not using nav 1 or 2, we're using GPS, so that stays off. Okay, so I forget that every time. That, even though it says heading, you got to turn that on to turn this thing on, and then you got your heading bug or your nav, and then that's off for GPS. Okay, now I remember. All right, let's see here. Let's bring back throttles. What is our cruise in this thing? Can't remember. So cruise throttles to 23 on manifold, which come back there and props back to 22. So let's see, there's 22 on the prop, and that's 24 on the manifold. Let's bring it back a little bit. There we go, close enough. 23 on the manifold, 22 on the props. There we go. Good. Now we just cruise until we get to your destination. And this is going to take over for us here. Let's see. Let's get our stuff activated now. So let's run a flight plan, and let's go direct to Suave because we don't want to activate this because of the hold. Let's just go direct to Suave. There we go. And 43 nautical miles. And what's this going to look like? So yeah, it's going to be a weird sharp turn, and we'll be able to see it better as we zoom in. So that's that. Let's do our vertical navigation. So we want to be at what? Suave now, because we didn't really get our fix in there. So what does it say? 1,600 feet. See, did you hear switch gas tanks on his fuel tanks? So 1,600 feet at Suave with a profile of 800 feet per minute. There we go. Start coming down in 15 minutes. Boom. Just like that. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some sightseeing, but behind the scenes... Oh, wait. Fuel pump come off now. So landing lights. Behind the scenes, I'm going to zoom this in, see what this looks like and everything. But 15 minutes until you'll see me, my time. And enjoy the sightseeing, and I'll catch you in a little bit. And I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, we are turning. Why are we turning around? This has happened before. I want to go direct to there, and it's turning us. Why? This has happened before. Oh man. So now we're gonna go this way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here. We're gonna set our heading bug 90 degrees from where we are now, like this, and come down here and just put on heading, and that should bring us to the heading bug. And we're just gonna use the heading bug to follow the pink line. I don't understand what's going on. I was all excited to jump in here and say we're about ready for top of descent, and now it just added a bunch of time. That has to be shaved off again. But it just decided to turn us around halfway to our waypoint. I don't know. Not sure what's going on, but yeah, see, that's that sharp turn stuff we got to do. Very interesting. Well, because normally we come out here. The waypoint was supposed to be out here. The fix was supposed to be out here. And then it wouldn't be so crazy of a turn, but that was a hold. Oh my gosh, I got to do more in the heading bug. Which way is it? This way. Whoop, nope. This way, please. Anyway, I want to keep navigating somewhat manually now. And I'll catch back with you at top of descent in 6 minutes, or that's going to get longer because we're actually going to fly out here to make a better turn. I'll catch you in a couple minutes. We'll leave it at that. So our top of descent is a few minutes out. It's actually going to be longer than that 320 because we're actually going to fly past, because that's a really sharp turn. So we're actually going to fly past to where the fix should be, since we're using heading bug anyway, and then we'll turn around. And we're going to use a conjunction of our GPS and the iPad on our laps. This is where we're going right here, so we're actually going to fly out and then make it a little smoother. But what we do need to do is get our destination weather. So 2990, wind is 250 at 5 knots, so 250, take off the 0 for 25, closest runway is 27, so we'll land on runway 27 as planned, because this is runway 27 here, which means the wind is coming from like right there. So we have a little bit of crosswind from the left, but not much at all. Of course, the simulator will probably take this 5 knots and make it atrocious for us, but that's okay. We'll do the best we can. We've done it many, many times before. So the plan then is to kind of use your GPS, but we're mostly now going to use this live map on the iPad on our lap just to navigate around, or we could just go VFR if you wanted to as well, since the GPS didn't work out for us with Autopilot. But it should be time to come down, but first we're going to set this to 2990 before I forget. There we go. Is it time to come down yet? About in 2 minutes or so. Let's have a look outside actually and see if we can see our destination. Yeah, there it is right there. See, let's get the binoculars out. Boom, we'll be landing on this runway right here. So we could, at this point, just totally break free of IFR, cancel it. We kind of already did anyway, and just use visual. Or we could follow the map on our lap. I don't know. What should we do? Let's do a combination of both. Let's see if we can keep an eye on that airport and land there. So which means price are coming down now, so we don't have to go out as far. And this is kind of useless now after between not being able to get to our original fix and the autopilot mishap. It's kind of useless to us. So let's come down here. Let's break free of the hold. Just that Piper there. And because it's trimmed for 120 knots or whatever, bringing back throttle should just descend us. Although I think this plane slows you down. It does both. Yeah. but it should catch up again. We'll use our throttle for the descent rate. That was too much throttle because we don't want to come down 1,000 feet. We want to come down about 800. So a little more throttle in. It's reacting like a big boat. See, now there's too much throttle in. It's just going to hunt around. Let's just move slow increments and keep an eye on that airport. So we're aiming, if we want to jump in and out of this GPS, we're aiming for 1600 at Suave or something. But otherwise, if we go visual, we just need to know that our landing altitude is, where is it? 19 feet above sea level. And we're currently at, what are we at? Oops, where are we here? 3,100 and descending. So let's just keep our descent rate about 800 or so, adjusting my throttles. We'll just keep an eye on this airport and we'll land. So, what do we need to do? We got our weather. Too early for flaps, too early for gear. We can probably turn the fuel pump on now. A little early, but that's okay. Landing lights can definitely come on now. We'll do flaps and gear as we come around the corner and do our base and final. Just keep an eye on that airport. Don't want to lose it as under the wing. Throttle back to 15 on the manifold, which we can't see. Oh, it's right there on 15. Never mind. Good. We'll just leave it the way it is. Okay. Props forward. We will in a moment. Fuel pump on, we already did. First flaps at 100 knots, then gear down at 185 for second flap, 40 for full flap, 75 is touchdown with 40 flap. The airport should be back there, and it is. So let's now break free of autopilot entirely. There we go. And we are flying with our hands. Bring back throttles to descend and slow down. We're going to do a base leg here. Since we know where the airport is and we don't have any terrain to worry about. If we had a lot of terrain, we'd want to stick to that GPS approach much more closely because that will get us around the mountains, but we don't have anything like that. So we're going to just go visual. Where's the airport? Did I lose it? Of course I did. Where are you? Oh, I think I see it right off the wing on the other side of that river. I think. We'll find out in a minute. All right, let's get altitude down. We are still at 2,000 feet. But we want to plan. I guess we could use a GPS sort of. Let's just do this as our base leg. We want to get down about 1,600 soon. So we don't want to come down too steeply yet. There's airport. Yeah, never mind. I had it in sight the whole time. I have to trust myself. There's our runway just off. Well, I'll just point to it. It's right there. All right. Let's start slowing down a bit more so we can get flaps and gear as soon as we turn on to final. Let's do our last looks around. We're at 1,600 now. We don't want to come down too much more yet. Looking good. Let's do a screenshot of that. Let's whip around here super fast. Get some sights over the ocean. Get that sun in there. Very cool. Are the passengers happy? They sure seem to be. You guys doing okay back there? Because now it's time to land a plane. So no more sightseeing. There we go. About ready to turn on a final. Fortunately, I did not lose sight of the airport. 1,400, and that's fine because we're in from South Suave, whatever. Remember, in the United States, all those waypoints mean something, but I don't always know what they mean myself. So props forward now, and gear down, and we'll turn on a final here right now and make final approach. We want to do it 100 knots. First set of flaps coming down now as well. Pulling back on the yoke because my trim is kind of out here. There we go. Whoop. We don't want to slow down too much yet. We want to approach at 100. And then 85, then 75 touchdown. Oh, we went a little past it. Again, that lack of peripheral vision. However, we got 2 and 2 on the PAPI, so we're doing something right. Let's try to keep a 500, 500 foot per minute drop, and we're at 1,000, so we went too low. It's okay. Second set of flaps now. Let's keep the speed up a little bit, though. And there's our crosswind from the left. It should not be that dramatic, though. It's only 5 knots. But look how crazy the simulator's making this crosswind. Holy cow, look at that. Look at this. All right, let's get more throttle in so we don't descend anymore. Remember, pitch for speed, but throttle for descent rate. So we don't want to descend anymore, so I'm giving more throttle, but I'm not doing anything with my pitch. I'm going to keep it at 80 till we get 2 and 2 on the PAPI. Oh my gosh, look at this crosswind. That is super funny how the sim interprets 5 whole knots. So Crosswind Landing from the left, we want to do left main down, right rudder, which I can't do because I don't have a rudder pedal, so I have to use my left rudder control on my yoke with my middle finger and pull backwards as we do left main down. Firm touchdown, but not too firm. Now remember in this airplane, even a greaser sounds horridly loud because of the way the sound file kicks in. So do not use the sound to judge how hard or softly we hit the ground. All right, here we go. Full flap now. And want to touch down at 75, which we're at now. Let's pitch down for speed. There we go. We're just going to hold it like this. Very long runway. Don't need much distance to stop. So we're not worried about landing in touchdown zone. We're just going to float. Touchdown gently, but not too gently, because there is a crosswind and we don't want it to skid us across the runways. We want kind of a firm landing. Let's see what we can do with this thing here. A little slow pitch down. So we're going to do left main down, right rudder if I can. And a slight flare here. Come on, let's rudder, slight flare. There we go. Boom. My right main touchdown instead, but that's okay. We did not slam the nose wheel. All in all, that wasn't terribly bad. We did land left of the center, which that's kind of my trademark move. But very, very smooth. Alrighty, so we probably would not have passed an exam for Crosswind Landing, but it was a safe landing. We can walk away from it, so we'll take it. Let's just roll this out. Flaps are already in, by the way. And let's see, long runway. So where is our next entry or exit point? 28:58 on the flight time. Actually, be more like 29 by the time we get off the runway. Looks like we have a taxiway coming up here, though. I still feel like we're pointing to the left. That's kind of strange. Well, it's not too bad. So let's get off here and we'll stop. Since we don't have peripheral vision to do everything at once, we'll just stop up here. Actually, no, we can try. No, I can't because I have too many things to do while we're rolling around. So let's just come up here and we'll stop right here. Set the parking brake, make sure this doesn't stall. So here we go. Landing, stop the clock, we did. Landing lights off, they are. Anti-collision off, we're gonna keep those on actually. Flaps up, yes. Pump, fuel pump, where are you? Click, there you go, off. Pitot heat off. And figure out where we're going. Where are we going? Looks like there's a lot of GA over there. So that's where we'll go. Let's get into taxi view. And parking brake off, obviously. We'll roll forward. And we'll just taxi over to our right. I'll find a spot to park and I'll meet you there. Alright, let's see here. I did pull the mixture back, by the way. Just so you know. So we're not going to follow up the spark plugs. I just didn't say that I did, but I did. So we're just going to go up to these Cessnas here on the left and just park in the next spot in line, I think. And then, that'll be a good safe shutdown here. Alrighty, I think we can take this one. Oh, there's that backwards rotor control thing. Yeah, we should have room to pull right in here. And here we go. There we go. Not too bad. Straighten out. And parking brake, hop inside. And what do we have for shutdown? Parking brake set. Yes. Avionics off. Where are you on this one? There you are there. Turn you off. 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 And does this turn off? It does. Throttles idle. They are. Mixture cut off. There we go. The MIGs to off as well. Turn off the remaining lights. There we are. Alternator to off. Battery to off. Whoops. Off and off, please. Thank you very much. Fuel tank selector to off. If I can get in the right spot to turn it off. There we go. Open the doors. Let's first of all open that too. Undo the latch, and sometimes I can open this from in here. Sometimes I can't. There we go. That worked. Hop outside so we can open our baggage door. And our friends can get their water and stuff out. Boom, and the chocks. And we're done. So welcome to South Carolina. From South Carolina, a big state, but we just flew the coast. Little VFR flight. It was a little hazy, so I cut the sightseeing kind of short because you see some haze. You've seen all the haze. The weather did clear up as promised, though, at the end, like you're supposed to. So we got a little bit of sightseeing for like 10 seconds in there or something. But otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed the flight. If you're a big subscriber, thank you for continuing support. If you found my accent, please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends. Shoot for 500 subs by the end of the year. I'm going to break out the 727, get that thing prepped and ready to go, and I'll catch you in South Dakota.